Well, hello, beautiful artisans. Welcome to my channel. Check it out with Carmella-T. Thank you for being here. Welcome if you haven't been here before, and if you have, welcome back. So I have a really exciting video to share with you. But first I want to preface it with my quilt that I made a while ago. Some of you might remember this quilt. This is a quilt on diversity, and I'm communicating my love for diversity by creating different types of people, the different shapes, the different fashions. The backgrounds are different. I am also communicating the Japanese method of boro building with the background of the different blocks that I built with. I am also communicating the visible stitching, again, the Japanese culture with the visible stitching. Some people may call it slow stitching, so it could represent that to them. And I am also representing the importance of recycling with the fact that I used all scrap fabrics. So there's a lot of communication going on with this quilt. And today I want to share the communication and how it was used during the Underground Railroad. How quilts were used with secret codes to communicate, to help people who were enslaved get out of slavery and into freedom. How awesome is that? And we're going to start with the Goldsboro Museum. I'm going to put the links and my references in the content. So they have a nice little spiel going on about quilts and how they were used. And I was really initially looking up yo-yo quilts, but it brought me to this more complex quilt decoding of quilts. And so quilts were typically used for bedding, and in the Underground Railroad, in the early to mid 19th century, the quilts were used as a visual communication. And today in Goldsboro, according to the Goldsboro Museum and this little blog, that many of the families kept their heirlooms and they passed these down from generation to generation. So at the Smithsonian Center for Folklife and Cultural Heritage, I found more information. So between these two sites and a researcher and instructor for decoding these quilts, her name is Sharon Tyndall, and so I'm going to share with you what some of the symbols in the quilts meant. These quilts would be hung in store windows. They would be hung where a person who was enslaved could see these and interpret them. So they might be hung out on a clothesline, and if the person who's trying to escape and get to freedom sees the symbol that this is a safe house, he or she knew they could reside there. So, for example, the bow tie meant dress in disguise for higher status. A bare paw meant follow the animal trail and there will be food and water at the end of that. Log cabin meant that this was a safe place. So if they saw a quilt hanging out in someone's backyard and they see the log cabins on this quilt, they know that they knew that was a safe place. Tumbling blocks meant that it's time to pack up and get ready to escape. A monkey wrench meant make sure you pack tools. Flying geese meant to follow the geese to Canada for freedom. Now, Sharon Tyndall, who is an instructor at the Northern Virginia Community College, on this had gotten a grant to investigate and decode what these symbols meant. These were secret codes used during the Underground Railroad. That is such an important part of our history. It really is, because it shows how creative society became for the sake of freedom, for the love of each other, to do what was right. And using these quilts, hanging them in a store window for communication, or out in their backyard. I mean, it took courage, it took creative and social responsibility. I just totally love it. So I wanted to share that with you today. And in the next video, we may be talking more about yo-yo quilts. I really was looking for some history on those, and there really isn't too much. But these Underground Railroad quilts that were used, look, when you go to a thrift shop, you may stumble across these quilts, because sometimes these quilts are stored away in an attic, and then the house is cleaned out and these are sent to the thrift shop. So, really keep your eyes open on that. But what a wonderful, loving part of our history to share, and to know that there was secret coding in these quilts. So this is something that Sharon Tyndall teaches today, and I will put her link also in the bio. So if you have any questions or you want to know more about these, I will try to get some images that I can actually share with you. But for now, you can find these images over at the Smithsonian Center for Folk Life and Cultural Heritage. And I'm sure Sharon Tyndall, she probably has some books out there on this, and we can get more information that way too. So anyway, with that, you have a beautiful day.